Probably a short live stream today just because I'm not feeling well. I'm kind of under the weather. Let's see what here. All right. So, what we're going to be talking about a little bit is, hold on, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. And do not disturb. So now I'm going to be getting telemarketers all damn day. It's like they call me like 20 times a day. But anyways, we're going to talk about 2025 and homelessness expanding and what we can expect. Because, we're expecting Donald Trump to come in and, be the grand savior of all, commander and king, Donald Trump. And the thing is he's not going to be able to fix what's coming on, and he may end up causing more issues. So one of the big warnings that is being put out is because Donald Trump wants interest rates lowered because he wants to kickstart the economy. But what they're talking about, the possibility of that happening, is it's going to cause inflation, and it could lead to hyperinflation. To unprecedented levels, and then that could possibly cause a collapse. So, if Donald Trump gets his way with lower interest rates, although it's great for the consumer in the moment, the overall the overall cause and effect is long term is going to be detrimental to the American economy and to the average American. And then Donald Trump wants to put these people in homeless camps because they're taking over the cities. It has nothing to do with poor government policy or the fact that we just had a president for the last 4 years, do everything he could to attack the American people, and he rose homeless. He increased homelessness almost as much as he increased the national debt. I mean, that's how bad the last 4 years are. And then now everybody that's had to pay the price for Joe Biden is now going to be paying the price under Donald Trump. And I don't think it's right, and I think it's something that is not it's not good. Because if he gets his way with lower interest rates, we could see hyperinflation. If the dock workers, because of the left right fight that's going on, if the dock workers come in, they will and they do their strike. I think it's in either May or June. That could completely decimate our shipping industry, and then that could also decimate imports and exports. And so now it's going to cost more to transport because everything will have to go to either Mexico or Canada. And then how much of that business is going to stay in Mexico and Canada and not come back to the United States, because the dock workers showed that there was no security in shipping. And so since there's no security in shipping, who's going to want to, ship to the United States, and how badly is that going to hurt us? Because this could exacerbate it in a lot of different ways. you know, Not to mention, if Donald Trump gets his way with the getting rid of and cutting government, which I don't think he will, he will, that will also increase homelessness. And I think that under the Trump administration, what's up, Rails? I think under the Trump administration, we're gonna see an even faster increase in homelessness than we saw under the Biden administration. And I would say about 50% of it is not Trump's fault. 50% of it will end up being Trump's fault because of the steps in which he makes. Um, it's that's the thing is, the long-term effects that the Biden administration did on not only the economy, but the American reputation abroad, and just domestically, all of the policies in which he was able to get implemented. I mean, they're sitting there throwing money, so much money at homelessness, that there's never been as much money thrown at homelessness. But is it actually fixing the issue, or is it causing the issue to get worse? And the thing is all of these not for profits, NGOs, all of these organizations are there, and they're just, they've got their handout for these government handouts. And as long as they give the bare minimum to, he says hi, as long as it gives the bare minimum to the homeless people, they can keep as much of it up top as they possibly want to. So I mean, how is that really going to be helpful to the homeless individual? So hey, what's up, Bucknut? Man, you working long hours, it must be good. So but it's just, this is this is the long-term effects that we're going to end up having, on the overall economy, not only just the economy, but just on homelessness itself. If the numbers are truly like correct, what the real estimates are, because so the point in time catches about 1 million people, but let's just say at most, that is like 30% of the homeless population that's got caught in time. You still have another 2 million homeless that we're not that we're not are not being counted because they're couch surfing. They're living in their car. They're living on a piece of land with nothing but, like what we're doing right here. Um, all of this different stuff is it's going to be, it's going to cause issues. And so if homelessness rose by 1/3, that means that we are now sitting at about 4 million homeless. If you really, take a look at the numbers. And the thing is, they're only catching the 1/3 increase out in the urban environment that is there, either getting shelter, or getting some sort of services. What's up, occult prepper? Getting some sort of services, but there's a lot of homeless that don't get the services, or that are, living hand to mouth. They make enough to where they don't either qualify for the services, but yet they can't afford a place to live. There's a lot of different reasons why people are homeless and aren't being counted. And so we could see, and maybe instead of 4 million, maybe it's really 5 or 6 million, because of all of the economic policies. What about all the people that have just given up and exited the workforce because they don't see a reason to keep going in to be with, to go work for an employer that has no loyalty, that's going to take them for everything they got and leave them with nothing when the day's over. So, these are different things that are, that you have to consider when thinking about, looking at the homeless issue. And if we're sitting at anywhere between 4 to 6 million, and like I said, that's kind of a liberal estimate, but, if we were sitting somewhere between 4 to 6 million, we're looking at somewhere around 2% of the American population that is homeless. During the Great Depression, I think it was only 1% of the population was homeless. But the thing is, most people lived on farms. Most people lived, in rural areas and stuff like that. What's up, Kung Fu? Nice to see you, buddy. Um, those are all the different things that back then, homelessness wouldn't have really been an issue because you could always go stay on the family farm. Even my grandfather, his family had a farm in Bakersfield, and then his dad had a porcelain doll shop inside in L.A. Through the 1930s, and then they ended up moving up to Oregon in the 1930s. But um, uh, uh, just the back then, you had a place to live, and then from there you might have, gone in and built a shop up or something like that, because you have the family farm. But they also had generational wealth that was being passed down as well. And plus they had better food and better opportunities, and there was less of a dependency on currency, unlike today. See, right now, you're completely dependent on currency, on some sort of revenue, some sort of dollar bill, in order to exist. And, in the Great Depression, they didn't have that. And Donald Trump, prior to his inauguration, has stated that we are heading towards and spiraling towards a, oh, hi, Cherokee, spiraling towards a Great Depression, maybe something even worse than the Great Depression. So just imagine how much worse it's going to get, and how soon is this going to come into effect. Will this be going into effect in the first 2 years of his presidency, or the last 2 years of his presidency? And what kind of backlash, what kind of anger, what kind of frustration will be given towards not only the government, but the government towards the homeless? So, and on top of that, so as homelessness goes out of control, especially if we spiral into a depression, then that means that you're going to see these homeless camps get so big that they become more like internment camps. And, it very well could be, declared oh, kickback time's here too, huh? Oh, wow. Nice to see you, buddy. Just think of it that way, because in 1929, how much money did you need to live? In 2025, how much money do you need to live? And if you don't have any of that, how do you survive? Here's a realization that I don't really tell a lot of people. My first year on YouTube, I made less than 5,000. This last year, I made somewhere around 7 to 9,000. If I go back and count up all my numbers, okay, in a year. And you guys have seen me and heard me struggling just to live off of, anywhere from 3 to 7 to 9,000 dollars in a full entire year. I mean, that's the first year. It's like about $300 a month. The second year, it's a little over $600 a month. But how does an individual live on even $600 a month? I mean, that's very little to live off of. And then, because you don't pay rent, and because you don't have all of these different expenses, but you still got to eat, you still got to buy your basic amenities, you still got to be able to keep yourself safe and out of the way, and try and be not seen, especially post grants pass. With the post grants pass, you, as a homeless person, you better not be seen. A couple of years ago, it's perfectly fine to be seen. Nobody cared, or even if they did care, there was nothing they could do about it, because for once the Supreme Court ruled in favor of humanity instead of in favor of profit and greed. Because quite frankly, this Bakersfield case does allow them to criminalize homelessness without actually criminalizing homelessness. It's like that meme that says, "Tell me that you're white without telling me that you're white." This is essentially what they're doing with the grants pass cases. They're using it as a way to criminalize homelessness without actually criminalizing homelessness. And so, it's that in itself is inhumane, because as a human being, you have the right to sleep, you have the right to eat. I mean, nature is supposed to provide all of this stuff, but yet our society carves off every piece of free land that is out there. And so there's no such thing as open property anymore. It's either government land or it's private property, but there is no such thing as open land anymore. So how can you go out and forage and get food, because even the government has made it illegal to go out into the forest and forage for your own food. If you actually, look at some of the laws, like in Florida, the palmettos is a food that you want to forage for, but you're not allowed to harvest them. And if you do and you get caught, you get in trouble. Now, the likelihood of getting caught is one thing. But the thing is, how do you expect somebody to, your creator allowed you to, eat, sleep, drink, use the bathroom, and the right to travel freely, and the right to choose freely what it is that you want. Those are inalienable rights that were endowed to you by your creator. And even as in the Bill of Rights, it says that they're not all of the rights are enumerated. These are just the ones that we know that the government will is most likely to trespass against. And so therefore, by using property rights as a way to criminalize somebody's existence, you're criminalizing it without actually criminalizing their lifestyle, because it's their lifestyle that forced them to be there. But it's not the lifestyle that you're criminalizing, it's the fact that it's a violation of property rights. And so therefore, this is a way to criminalize homelessness without actually criminalizing homelessness. And so between with the narrative and the attitude that is coming forth from not only our government, but our local officials, our federal officials, and now it's even being propagated down to society. It's getting to a point to where just to be homeless is a dangerous lifestyle, even more than it already starts off to be. Okay, so just so you guys know, this channel is funded by crowdfunding. So come on over to Patreon, get some behind the scenes. $10 or $20 a month will get you behind the scenes content, or you can put something down in my tip jar. This channel is supported by crowdfunding. It's a free resource to the homeless. I cover education and awareness. And so, by supporting me through the tip jar and membership, it allows me to have the time and the freedom to keep adding to this resource and making it better for the homeless community. So, anyways, guys, if you have any questions, I know I've been kind of dead. I'm not really feeling that well. So I've just kind of been under the weather for a while. So it's just the way it is. Just I've been feeling really nauseous the last couple of days, and even yesterday I had a hard time keeping my eyes open during the live stream, just because I'm that tired. And it's like, it's not that I'm not getting sleep. I think I've still got like a couple days of my medication left, but I think that there's something else that's going on with me. I just don't know what it is. It could be just the coldness and the weather, because my body just doesn't like cold or whatever. But tomorrow, I'm gonna do the behind the scenes, so it's gonna be a little bit late, but I wanted to be able to show you guys the trailer, the inside of the trailer, and some other stuff, because I forgot to take footage when we went to go look at it. Farm Girl has some stuff, and I gotta have her send it to me. But I forgot to get my own when we were looking at it, because I was too busy asking questions, looking around, touching things, looking in drawers, making sure things worked and stuff like that. So that's if you are already a member over on Patreon. Tomorrow I'll be dropping the behind the scenes after we're done. After we're done with the trailer, which it should be here by like noon tomorrow. And then you may end up seeing, well, you should end up seeing us inside the trailer, doing our videos and functioning. So it'll be a little bit nicer to get inside, have something that will allow us to move around and, function and stuff like that. But then we'll be starting to talk about repairs. Okay. So, why don't you guys get into a tent, or on a tent basis? Because we're getting into a trailer. We'll be in a fifth wheel tomorrow, most likely, unless something goes sideways. But tomorrow we're supposed to be in a fifth wheel. It's like a 20-footer. Um, I thought I talked to you about that. I guess I didn't. But yeah, tomorrow we got a 20-foot trailer coming. Now we're gonna have to live inside it for a minute while we get through this cold spell. But we need to like immediately start. For telemarketers. I still got to yeah. We got to get to work on it, but we need something that is going to keep us warm through these cold fronts, and didn't think that it was immediately inhabitable. Yeah, it is. He was living in it, and he just moved out of that into a shed. And that was part of the reason why he was getting rid of it, was because he was just trying to, he was moving out of his trailer into a shed. So he was living in it. Like I said, he fixed the water damage. That is his claim. That's what he stated. I'm taking him at his word, because as a seller, if he misinforms me, I do have right to recourse. If he misinforms me on any of this stuff, because I mean, I asked specific questions, and when he gave me guaranteed committal, he put himself in a bind. And so one way or another, yeah, I'm not gonna allow us to get bamboozled. But we looked at it. I didn't seem to have any problems with it on the inside. I know it needs to be deep cleaned, which we need to go get some cleaning materials. So if you guys want to put $10 or $20 in the tip jar, go ahead. If you guys want to put $10 or $20 in the tip jar, that'll help us get some cleaning materials. Like, we want to. Can you use bleach, dear, or is that too harsh for you?
I can use a little. I can use watered down bleach.
Okay, watered down bleach. So like soft scrub would be okay with you though.
It leaves too much of a residue. So.
Okay. So there's we need to get some cleaning chemicals, something that will go in there and help us disinfect. I mean, she's got a little bit, but we want to be able to to do that on her own. But anyways, guys, like I said, I'm not really feeling well. It's been a long couple of days. So tomorrow morning I will not be doing a morning live stream because we'll be there with the trailer. Um and then once we're done with the trailer, um I'll be uploading the behind the scenes content, and then we'll be going from there. So before I go, does anybody have any questions or anything else like that? Before I head out, any questions? Pressure wash. That's yeah. I mean, we're gonna do whatever we can. But we need more space. And we need to be able to retain heat. I mean, let me show you, like how like, I mean, look at the, down there. So when it gets windy and stuff like that, we have to, it can get really bad. And when it gets bad like that, on windy days, and it's like under, it's getting in the 30s and stuff, it makes it much harder to stay warm. And so, this should be keeping us warm and cozy for the remainder of the winter. But anyways, guys, I will see you in tomorrow night's live stream. And for those of you that are members over on Patreon, I will be posting a video shortly. It should be posted before noon my time tomorrow. What's invisible, man? What's going on? All right, guys. I hope you get feeling better. Thanks, Occult.